I believe it's 6 o'clock. We'll call the caucus to order. We start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dawn, please take the roll.
Lyssel. Jim Falke.
Here.
Jeremiah Kiecker.
Here.
John Kohl.
Here.
Rick Coenen.
Here.
Bobbi Marks.
Here.
Dan Sambs.
Here. At this time, we need to have a trustee to, or a person to chair the caucus. I will accept nominations for that person to chair the caucus.
I would like to nominate Jim Falke to chair the caucus.
Second it.
Second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, at this point then, we'll turn the caucus over to Jim. And those of us who are up for office need to, will sit in the back row.
I'm sitting in the front row. Sorry. I don't have to walk that far.
Do we need more chairs? So I gotta,
Select the tellers first.
At this time, we need to select two tellers. I'll take nominations for two tellers. They will take counts if we do have to have a vote down to the numbers we need to go on a ballot. I'll recognize anybody that has their hand raised.
I'm sorry, I don't.
No village residents here. Okay. I'll nominate Rick Coenen.
I second it. I nominate John Kohl.
I'll second that.
Okay, so we have our tellers. Do I have to ask if there's any more nominations for tellers, or just two of them? Okay, now the following trustees are up for re-election. Village President Dan Sambs, Village Trustees Bobbi Marks, Rick Coenen, and John Kohl III. Every nomination must have a second. And so we're ready to proceed. At this time, I'll open the nominations for the village presidency. John?
Nominate Dan Sambs.
I'll second that.
I'll nominate Bobbi Marks.
I'll second that.
I'd like to decline. Can I do that?
I believe you can.
This is for village
Or-
president?
You can, yes.
Or you can not hand in nomination papers,
Okay.
then you don't have to ballot.
Is there any other nominations for village presidency? Any other nominations for the village presidency? The nominations for village presidency will be closed. We'll start the nomination for the village trustees.
I'll nominate Bobbi Marks.
I'll second it.
I'll nominate John Kohl.
I'll second it.
I'll nominate Rick Coenen.
I'll second
Any other nominations for village trustee? Last call for any nominations for village trustee.
I move the nominations be closed. I'll second it.
president are Dan Sambs and Bobbi Marks. And the trustees, Bobbi Marks, John Kohl, and Rick Coenen. So you would certify all the paperwork if you want to do it now or later.
Later.
Adjourn the caucus.
Make the motion, we close the caucus.
Second?
Okay, the caucus is now closed. Resume the meeting, right?
All right. We'll call the regular village board meeting to order. We're in compliance with the open meetings law.
Yes, sir.
Trustees have received the minutes of the December 9th meeting.
Make a motion that, we accept the December 9th meeting as presented.
I'll second it.
Motion by Mr. Coenen, seconded by Mr. Kohl to approve the minutes of the December 9th meeting as presented here. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. At this time, we will entertain informal public comments. First is Jennifer Moen, Wolf River Optimist Club, request use of the village lot for a brat fry on Saturday, May 23rd, and Saturday, September 5th. All right, so let's talk about that first. Is that correct?
That's right.
Has anyone else requested?
Yes,
Okay, because sometimes we have to go on a first come, first served basis on that, on those requests to use the park, the lot rather. So if they're first ones to apply, I guess it'd be in order to I'd entertain a motion to approve that request.
I'll make a motion to grant the request for Wolf River Optimist Club to use the village lot on Saturday, May 23rd, and Saturday, September 5th.
I'll second that.
Motion by Mr. Falke, seconded by Mr. Coenen to approve the request of the Wolf River Optimist Club to use the village lot for a brat fry Saturday, May 23rd. Okay, and Saturday, September 5th. Okay.
Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. They'd also like to host a glow run walk between August 21st and 23rd, along with the Trail Festival. You have some more details on that for us at this point? A specific date?
It's gonna be either the Friday or the Saturday evening of this weekend. We would prefer to have it the Friday, but that is if we can have a festival held Friday evening, Saturday, and Sunday. If at this point we can only do a one-day festival, then we would move the go run to Saturday night, so that everything is in one day. The Yellowstone Trail Festival is currently Wolf River Drive, which runs right here. We would love to be able to have the actual fun run held from Channel Cats down to the porch and back. But we don't know if we can close the road down for that, or if the Village of Fremont has another spot that they'd rather see this fun run walk being held. It's at night, and the people that register for the event have glow sticks on, or they can creatively do whatever they want with their glow sticks and put them on their wagon wheels or stroller wheels or whatever. There's not going to be any pets, it's just people, but it's open to everybody of all ages. So we wanted to have it someplace easy to get to, easy to see. So that's what I'm asking today.
So it'd be fairly late in the evening in August if it's gonna, you're talking about after dark?
We're thinking we'd like to start it at like 8:45, yes.
How long would it go?
It shouldn't even be more than an hour. I'm roughly estimating this first year, we're gonna be lucky if we have 60 people, and I'm thinking 20 are kids. I don't plan this first year that it's gonna be this big, huge event, but I'm also very concerned about if we're closing down the street, the businesses that it's going to affect on a Friday night.
Would the police department work along with them and closing each side now? Is it how we would do it if we?
We would have to build the event, I mean, there's too many streets in between. It would take more than one person. You could get the road closed,
Mm-hmm.
you know, instead of barricades, but we can't guarantee without each intersection being properly closed off.
Well, part of the good news is we have a very good sidewalk from here all the way up to the post office, which would eliminate the need to be on the busiest part of the street here for most of the way. Is that something that's considered?
That's definitely something we can
And
consider.
maybe you could go on the or up to the post office if they went on the sidewalk, and then after that, you wouldn't have as many crossroads going from the post office out to the porch.
Right, but then you'd have to legally request the road to be closed,
Yeah,
you know, if everyone's just running in the street.
yeah.
What does Leslie do, Hildebrand do when she has hers on that?
They usually close one lane, don't they?
Yeah, one line.
They start at the beach, don't they, and go
Well,
to
this
the...
way, I'm expecting
They request the road to be closed.
one lane.
Right.
Is that, I mean, we could approve the road to be closed, correct?
One lane.
So what do you think about just closing one lane?
At that time
So
of
it's
the
starting
night.
at the post office or
The whole time.
the whole?
Channel cats down to the porch.
What do you think?
I mean, I think
That's a
the
Saturday
big, if you
night, too.
don't close everything, it being dark, you have a chance of cars meandering on the road, which isn't a good thing in the dark.
So you think to close the road from Channel Path to the porch?
I mean, unless you can keep people on, if the sidewalk's good enough to, I mean, I don't know, if you have to have volunteers pretty much almost, maybe planning close to every intersection, or?
I think if you close the road, then legally, if they would have staff there to assure no vehicles come on, that would work.
Mhm.
I've seen that like at other factories at the
Mhm.
intersection, you know, they get signs and I'm kind of directing people,
Right,
because not everyone not everyone in the event would know Fremont.
correct. I personally think that I would feel more comfortable with the road being closed since we're opening this up to all ages,
Mhm.
and that there's going to be younger children who have expressed interest in doing the run.
Well, why don't-
What if you close it from the post office to the porch and,
I think let's do it from the Channel Path to the porch. Get it over with.
how's that gonna work for businesses? I mean,
Like for an hour, yeah, I don't know.
Go by 9 o'clock, I mean, establishments are pretty much full down here during the summertime.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like when
but
you're
there's a lot
talking
of
about the
there's
people
just a lot
coming
of
to,
people going in and out.
Right.
this is
You don't
August,
have a whole lot of-
this is August,
Right.
21st or 23rd.
yeah, it's not like a 4th of July or, and I mean, you can get to the bridge, you can
Yeah,
get
you
to
can-
Channel
you can
Cats
get-
that way, you can get to Barzos and
What I'd
and
be
the other ones
worried-
coming
the only thing
from
I'd be
the,
worried about is what if someone's down eating like at the hotel at 7 and then they wanna leave at
they'll have to go back in.
I guess we'll just have to work with those people.
Yeah.
And that's why you have people.
Well, that's why you have
stationed
people
at
stationed
every
at different places, and then you can
Mhm.
let them out, and that's why you'll have one lane open.
Well, I guess, you know, it's
And
only
they
the
could
start
go-
of the race that.
And the thing is you can go through that parking lot to the back, to the back street.
That's true.
So they wouldn't have to go on the road, they could just go through the parking lot back to the back street. I think you should just do it from Channel Cats to the porch, and, so that they don't have to go, you know,
Worry about, yeah.
we just have a straight shot. So, I'd like to make a motion that we close, Wolf River Drive from Channel Cats to the porch on either the 21st or 22nd, from 8:45 to 10 o'clock. for the glow walk run for the Yellowstone Trail Festival. Excuse me?
1 lane is all.
One lane.
Are you gonna request them to have people at the intersections?
I think that, yeah, that's fair. I mean, I'm sure they'll have, I mean, usually on any of those walks and runs, they have, you
A
know,
lot of event staff.
they have staff, you know, that'll be taking care of it.
Right, the only thing that we wouldn't have is like any sort of barricade. Does the Village of Fremont have any
Barricades?
barricades?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so as long as we can use those, then we.
Yeah.
When you're talking channel cats, you're talking about a half a block, so is there any specific place on that half a block?
Right on the intersection.
At the intersection down at
Yeah.
Main Street?
Yeah.
Correct, and we can start it on this side of the intersection so that the
Mhm.
cars can still get to the bridge and that.
Are you saying 1 lane or 2 lane?
1 lane.
At night, I don't know
You wanna close the whole thing?
if you're gonna have cars coming down, she said if you're gonna have some kids and stuff.
Right, I'm all close the whole thing now. Just for safety wise.
Somebody wants to get home.
Well, that's when you have your volunteers, you know.
Exactly.
I mean, and the walkers would go by or the runners would go by and then, you know, I think
Yeah,
people
that's
have
why you have
patience.
somebody at your intersection could say, okay, now
I
it's
got
past, you
questions.
got time to control.
Are they going back, are they going down and coming back?
Yes, they
Okay.
are. What if we put out fluorescent sheets of paper that morning explaining that the road will be closed, or let's say at noon from 8:45 till 10 o'clock on street lamps? Can we do that so that people parking would realize
I
that
could
the
put that
street
in.
would be closed? I can
Still
also,
have- It's still not the people just in town though, I mean, you're talking a Friday night, you could have hundreds of people that aren't from Fremont who will never see them signs. They come into town at 8 o'clock at night, so to speak, or 9 o'clock at night.
All right. Gene, you're,
Yeah, I only have 2 issues. We can obviously have a squad on one end, we're more than willing to do that. Seeing it's nighttime, I think you need to have a reserve deputy on the other end, because they don't even listen to us with the lights on. And then number 2, there's gotta be a guarantee that you have every intersection closed up and someone there to make sure that no motor vehicle goes up and down that roadway. That's the only, because if someone gets run over at night, people are confused even with signs and even with squad cars there, so, if we can help them and provide them with the police tape. But in order to make that legal, you need to close that whole road, because then, I don't believe.
Rather
any
than a
traf-
lane.
I don't believe any traffic laws apply
Okay.
during that.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
Okay.
I'll revise my motion to close the entire road from the intersection of, that's Main Street, isn't it? Main and Wolf River Drive to the porch. At the said.
8:45 till 10. All right. You heard the motion. Is there a second?
The only thing I would add to that is that organization or Mary would have volunteers at every intersection. That would be up to the organizers.
You wish to amend your
I will
motion?
amend the
You know, I
motion,
just
yes,
wanna-
that's fine. I'll amend the motion to add that the Wolf River Optimist Club be responsible for having an individual at each of these intersections to make sure that no cars come through there.
You heard the revised motion.
Motion.
I'll second that.
All right, motion by Ms. Marks, seconded by Mr. Coenen to approve the request of the Optimist Club to close Wolf River Drive, whichever day they happen to pick now, between August 21st or 22nd, between 8:45 and 10 p.m. with the understanding that they will have a person at each intersection. Any further discussion?
can we also send out letters to the residents that are on the road, letting them know
Sure.
Sure.
Who's
That would
we?
be-
the
The Optimist Club.
Optimist Club?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be be fine.
Okay, all right.
Great.
That would be very nice.
And then maybe the Chamber of Commerce of Fremont too could put something on their website,
Okay.
you know, a couple weeks beforehand or a week beforehand.
I can
You know,
certainly
just,
check.
All right, at this time, I'll call for a vote. Those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye?
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay. So number 2, we do not have to address tonight, right? Okay. All right. Next, we have the police report. Here it is. All right, for the month of December 2014, there were 7 complaints. Assisted the departments once, one in the township of Fremont. Assist the public once, burglary once, deaths 1, domestic abuse 1, and 1 welfare check. Squad car was driven 1,173 miles. There were 17 shift deployments, 134 hours. Okay. Enforcement action, there are 22 incidents, 7 citations issued. We're bringing the total to the year for 134. No written warnings. There had been brought the total to 2. Parking citations, none, but 50 for the year. Verbal warnings, 15 for the month, 229 for the year. There were no traffic crashes during the month, but there were 3 with property damage in the year. Radar enforcement, 20 minutes in the school zone, 35 minutes near the village hall, 4 hours, 14 minutes on Tustin Road, 2 hours and 8 minutes on Tustin Road, and 1 hour on Tustin Road. Well, Pack County Sheriff's Department handled 3 calls in the month, 1 E911 call, 1 traffic, and 1 welfare check. The department did not receive any noise complaints from a liquor license establishment in the month. Respectfully submitted, Gene M. Goody. Thank you, Gene.
I'd like to just add that we did get a check from the town of Fremont in the month of December for 10 calls. And you will be submitting the 4th quarter to them, right?
Already done, I just did that today.
Okay, good.
Okay, thank you. All right. Is there anyone else from the public who would like to address the board at this time? Okay, we move to committee reports. Ms. Marks, library.
Library report, for January, the library had 4 programs. In December, 33 children for the drop-in program, 415 cards scanned, 906 patrons in the library. There was an average of 13 devices a day using the library's wireless, 130 sessions on a public computer, 71 ebook users, 11 audiobook users. There were 4 programs in December with 68 adults and children attended programs. The adult book club met yesterday at 1 o'clock. They were discussing American Heiress. On December 17th, there we had cookies and carols at noon. The carols were put on by the McGinnis family, and they had 40 people attending. The library will be taking part in an early childhood development days on the 19th to the 20th, and the library will hold the annual Food for Fines program in the month of January. Anyone that brings in a food staple will get like $1 off of what they owe on their fines. And other things for the library, I just wanted to remind everyone that the library, it's not really the library board, it's these concerned people who have been donating and participated in the basket sale. They're having a meeting on January 29th here at the Village Hall to discuss what they would like to do with expansion. And they invited anyone from the village hall to, unfortunately, they didn't give me a time. But I would imagine it's like around 6 o'clock. But anyway, I plan on attending to see what they have in mind. And if anyone else wants to come, and I would invite anyone that's on the library committee, if you can make it. But anyone else that's interested, I'd extend an invitation to attend.
Yeah. All right, thank you. All right, anything else, son?
No, that's it.
Okay, Jim, anything from the utility?
I don't really have anything, even in this cold weather, everything's working fine. We did pay off the Clean Water Fund loan. We're proceeding with the 15% decrease across the board, starting in the first quarter. Other than that, that's all I have.
Okay, sure you good. Jeremiah, ordinance, recycling,
I have nothing.
okay. Steve, Park and Beach, all right. Rick, streets,
Streets, yeah, I did get the bid for, Racke's, Tom Rackey, for replacing the boat launch right out here next to the bank. Basically, it's, he put it in pretty much great detail, taking the old one out, damming everything off, and the rest is a lot of work has to be done. I believe the total is going to be 40 feet long, if I read that right. Approximately sized at 65 feet by 20, so it's going to be about 65 feet long. And that is, they're going off of state guidelines that Racke's is when they, when villages or cities or townships repair or put in new boat launches, so they're 60 feet into the water now. So because you're handling such bigger boats and twin and triple axle trailers. And the cost of that is, to do the whole project is $85,000. That project won't start until the end of August. I am in contact with Sue, the representative through the DNR, works with the county of Wapaka and the surrounding county. And all I am waiting on to see if Racke's or the village has to get any permits for this project. It'd probably be, since Rackey would be doing the project, and they would be the contractors, they are the ones that would take the permits out, but all that has to be sent in with the grant. So the deadline on the grant is June, but I'll have it in by the end of February at the very latest. We won't know until July if we get the grant or not. I talking to Sue, it sounds like there's plenty of money there. Maybe close to $10 million left over from this year that you're gonna roll into next year's budget too. So, sounds like there's plenty of funds there. The grant would cover half of the project, so we would be looking at $45,000. Of course, on the contract it says Racke's would like to have half down, I believe I read.
25%.
I'm sorry, 25% down of the project when they start the project, and the rest when the project is done. I do have a meeting set up with the web porters, I believe February 10th, and that's down at the Bridge Bar. If you want to sit on that one, Steve, feel free to if you're on that night.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
When is it?
I think it's February 10th. I'll double check on that date.
I think that's the night of the board meeting, I believe, isn't it?
Is it?
Tuesday, I think that's the 10th.
That sounds right.
You saying that the permits are included, that they will take care of it, or the
That's not included in this estimate, no. I don't know if, Chris is gonna get back to me, so hopefully by Friday to see if we need any permits on this project, but if the permits, if we need those are RAC fees, and he would have to take care of those. And I would have to get together with Tom and have him sign off on the permits, and then I would have to hand everything in on, with the grant. So.
I guess what John's saying is, that would there be an additional cost if there's,
Well, I'm sure permits don't cost enough, but I'm hoping we don't need any permits. I guess last time I did this, we didn't have to have any permits, or Rackies didn't have to have any permits. You know, because we're not changing the flow of the river or nothing, we're just replacing a boat ramp, you know. So, but I'll have more information.
But you'll find out if there are permits that are needed.
Yes, I'll find out here within the next week if there's any permits.
So
that
right
are
now,
needed.
we're not really going to approve this proposal. We're just being informed of it,
You're
and
just
then
being informed
and then
of what's going on.
we'll
I
approve
mean,
it in February.
my feeling would be, I'd be curious how much the wood footers wanna put into this, because we make maybe $100 a week on this boat ramp over here.
Yeah.
So it's kinda, you're doing them a big favor. I mean, we'd be footing $42,500 of a bill. I guess I'm curious what they put into it. I mean, nothing against them, it's just they're the ones that use the thing the
Yeah.
most, you know.
And I guess that's what, I did go to one meeting of theirs already, but I didn't have all this in front of me. I kinda explained what we wanted to do and, what we kinda expected from the wood porters to see if they did have any funds, and that was a couple months ago, so
Do
hopefully
they have
now
any
with
money?
this.
I talked to Eric Burt one day, and he said they're a little late, but I don't know,
Yeah,
you know, maybe they come up with some since then, that's a while.
yeah. So I guess we'll find out February 10th, when you're more than welcome to sit in on that one, Steve, with me, when we have it that night.
After this.
Oh, yeah, 'cause I'll double check on the date.
I have it on my phone at their meeting. Melissa set it up with me.
Okay, is it the 10th?
Yeah, but last time they didn't start their meeting even until like 6:45, 7 o'clock. They have it written down at 6, but they
Yeah.
were like an hour late last time.
So we could probably have our meeting and then be down.
you go down there and beat them up?
And full force.
Well,
So, that's where it is right now, keep moving forward with it. Dan, I'm gonna need you, when I get the grant filled out and everything, I'll probably have to have your, how do we wanna do this? If I fill out the grant and everything before we send it in, I'm gonna have to have Dan's signature on everything, on the grant. So we're still at the next meeting, once we find out or exchange Chris, are we gonna okay this project, or?
I don't think we can really okay it until, we find out if the web footers are going to, because we sure can't,
What our
afford
bottom
for
line
it.
is gonna be on it, you
Yeah.
know, what the village is gonna be responsible for.
We'll have to wait until after the meeting with the web footers to see if they're gonna commit.
Anything?
Maybe they'll have to take out a loan.
And when is the grant due again?
Deadline is, June 1st. Sure. I've done a couple of these, I guess the sooner you get it in, the better your chances to get that grant.
Well, I think we could probably have some kind of answer by March. I think I'm pretty optimistic in getting it done by the end of February. I think maybe March, end of March is more.
They probably
You
won't
apply
do this
for the
work
grant,
until next fall anyway, when the water's down.
Yeah, we would have to wait until the web footers are done, which would be August 31st around there, the end of August.
So you're looking at September sometime. Good stuff.
So,
Well, let's see what the web footers have to say, because it really depends on if they plan on raising some money for it.
okay.
Because we can't afford $42,000.
No.
So,
I
I don't know.
wouldn't feel right about spending that kind of
No,
money.
no, it's.
No way.
So we'll have to wait and see what they, you said that 90% of it is their use.
All right, okay, good luck on that, Rick.
All right,
Anything else?
no, nothing else. Well, it's supposed to warm up this week, but just had a tank by and ice as fast as it's salt or sand. Other than that, you know, I think the roads are looking pretty good.
Yeah, I think we were lucky this last snow was,
Light.
the light, they were light, and I think he was able to get right down to
Mhm.
the base, and, so there's not much of a buildup, so that's all looking good. Have, noticed that with some of the pebble work that we did up on the other end of town, there are a lot of pebbles getting plowed up and getting plowed off to the side. And, we had one person, complain about the pile of gravel, on the lawn. I don't think it was her lawn necessarily, I think it's still on the village right away, but it is it is quite a pile of stones or rubble sitting there, which can't be helped, I guess, but, so, anyway, that's all the only comment I have on the streets. I was gonna say, I'll bring it up under old business. I could bring it up under old business, but I'll bring it up now. We had a request a number of years ago from a gentleman who lives on Lynn Street, to get a street layout in there, a street light put up out there close to his property. There is nothing out there on Lynn Street. There are a couple of residences out there. There's no street light anywhere there, and I saw him again here within the last week, and he says, I'm still waiting for my street light. And I said, well, I'm gonna bring it up, and maybe what we need to do is not only look at that, but I think there are some other areas over on the other side of town, maybe on the Riverview Drive area, that are probably, we need to look at and see if there is a need for a street light over in that neighborhood.
Okay.
So I think we need to look around in the evening sometime after dark and just see what it looks like.
Okay.
So if you wanna take a drive, or you wanna call me and we'll go for a ride?
Yeah, well, I can pick you up tomorrow, we can get together.
Yeah, so let's just scope that out sometime.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, John, employee and purchasing?
We took a look at the, policy for the employment, and benefits for the village. And we, changed a couple things on here, I'll just quick touch on. The vacation, which was previously approved, we, typed in, put it in correctly and got rid of the old. And number 4, we, changed the vacation time that instead of the old format, we put it that you could use it in 4-hour increments. And number 12, we just put, for health benefits, we put negotiable. 17, on the training and education, we just added in the end that the village will also pay for meals and lodging if required with receipts. And then number 20, we put in call and pay. Employees called into work by the village outside of the regular work hours shall receive a minimum of 2 hours of pay at the regular hourly rate of pay, even if the call-in does not require the full 2 hours. If an employee is called in on a holiday, he or she will receive a minimum of 2 hours of pay at time and a half for time worked.
And that's what we buy. So we buy those things.
So if it's on weekend, if I get called in, it would be time and a half for the 2 hours?
You don't get paid, what do you mean? You get nothing. If you're an employee?
Yeah, because
Yeah,
it's
that's
off
what I
time,
said.
yeah. So we figured get called in on a weekend, it's, with the time.
And,
Oh, well, that's better than I get.
Better than I get to, whatever.
Well, usually if I get called, like
You
snowballing,
just
I
get time
got
and a half on
called.
the holiday.
I just
don't
got-
you?
no, it's time and a half on a holiday.
Holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it puts him over 40 hours in a week, you
Yeah,
get
then
time
you-
and a half. But otherwise, it's just regular time on weekend.
For the call-in time?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
No time and a half there.
They just basically, they were getting, there was no 2-hour minimum there.
It's,
Or any
it's,
time. They could get called in for 15 minutes worth of work and it wasn't worth their time to show up, but
discussion then, Glenn? I think we were asking.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
kind
we
of talked, there's a
went back and
revised one
forth
tonight that
back and
kind of
forth,
reworded it a little, so
Oh.
John just ran us the revised.
Okay.
So that works.
So I suppose we should make a motion to adopt adjustments on the policy on employment and benefits for the Village of Fremont.
You make that motion?
Yep.
I'll second it.
Motion by Mr. Kohl, seconded by Ms. Marks to approve the policy on employments and benefits, Village of Fremont. Any discussion? Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay. Thank you. All right, I really don't have a whole lot here. I have a couple questions here. I believe the person I know on who is involved in the tree planting and tree city work says that there's gotta be some paperwork submitted. I believe that's after the first of the year or around the first of the year.
I did all that.
You got it all taken care of? Good, I will pass that message on. Thank you.
Yeah, I did it online this year.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Great, okay.
Nice.
Yeah,
Oh,
all right. Then, we talked about a flammables cabinet. Any chance to check up on that at all, or?
Yeah, the first one, I found some cheaper ones, and I guess Mr. Fisher did his inspection, but he didn't say anything about it this time around, so.
Forgot.
But it's still a work in progress. I found some now that are smaller that I can get for like $600 or something like that. So I don't know, I suppose it's something that we should probably get, and we're safe in the long run. So I'll have something probably for next meeting.
Okay. All right. Okay, move to the clerk's report.
All right. First thing I have is a Class A combination liquor and beer license application from Osbeat and Tackle. I believe the ordinance committee all took a look at it. There's nothing prohibiting on his background. The letters that were sent out, Jed Wolf said he's not serving food, so there was no inspection needed on his part. Background check was okay, and then Randy Miller verbally told me today, and he'll send it in writing, that everything was okay with his inspection for the fire
Okay.
department.
Make a motion, we approve the Class A combination liquor and beer license for Osbait and Tackle.
I'll second.
All right, there's a motion by Ms. Marks, seconded by Mr. Falke to approve the Class A combination liquor and beer license application for Mosby and Tackle.
Dawn, was that, you talked about you had to take the responsible
I did
service?
get that too, yep, I
You
just
got
got that.
that now?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carried.
Secondly is an operator's license for Lacey Brown. There's nothing prohibiting the issuance of her license as well.
I make a motion, we approve the operator's license application for Lacey Brown.
I'll second that.
Motion by Mr. Kohl, seconded by Mr. Coenen to approve the operator's license for Lacey Brown. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, a couple of receipts that we had gotten were the first quarter transportation aid, $5,466.28. November court penalties, $230.70. And we also received $400 from the VCOM for the 2015 lease agreement. In regards to statewide voter registration, we had talked about last month of me taking that on instead of the county. And I had said there would be a 2-day training associated with that to get, before we could get set up on anything. I just last week heard they have 2 locations set up. One is February 2nd, I think 2nd and 3rd in Madison. And then they are going to have one in March in Oshkosh. The date's not set yet. My question to her was, okay, if I wait till March the election's in April, would we be ready to go by April or not? She couldn't say, you know, a lot of the work is gonna be done beforehand already with that. She just says the earlier the better. I mean, that's what they say, so it's, I don't, you know, I guess, what are the board's feelings on it? It's a it's 8 to 5, 2 full days.
Well, you need training.
I know, but
Right.
it would
Is
sure
it a
be nice
matter
to
of-
be in Oshkosh
I
rather
know,
than
and that's
Madison.
what I said, you know, it's a lot closer.
And didn't she say it might be later on in Oshkosh too? or-
They didn't have a date yet
Yeah.
in March, yeah, it's March sometime.
Can we wait till February to?
Can't wait till the
The
board meeting.
second is when the
Oh,
February
it's
one is.
when? Oh,
Second.
The Madison one is the second, and that's even, they only take 16, so there's no, you know, she says if there's room yet even. So, I would love to drive to Oshkosh versus Madison, but I don't know what, you know, do we let Mary take care of ours this year yet and take the training and start with next year? I think it would have been nice this year before a presidential year to get acclimated with the things with it, but.
Well, could we give her approval to, if the March meeting is too late, because then she might not be able to get into the February meeting.
It could be, I mean, some of those book up like that. I know, it's
Could we just say we approve, you to get that, and whichever one you can roll in.
I mean, because the February one's open for enrollment now, but the March one isn't set, so
Yeah.
how do you?
well, they get on a stick and get it going.
Yeah.
Well, if the February one has been announced and it's not filled yet, you would think that once they announce the March one, if you would
Jump on that one.
jump on
Yeah,
that one.
yeah, I don't think that one would be the, probably, as long as it's not too late to do everything that's up. You know, the other thing would be is if it's later in March and you have absentee voting during that time, and office hours have to be posted for that.
There's not that much on the spring election, is there?
No, but that's part of the elections laws. Your hours have to be posted when you're, which we can amend, you know, hours available for absentee. Which I would think the GAB would go around that, knowing it's the election time, but.
February 2nd, that's still about 3 weeks away. Huh? Ask them, can you call and ask them when they expect to have that March meeting?
I could try to find it out, sure.
Try to find that out, and I would say we should leave it up to Dawn when she thinks she
Yeah.
wants to go.
Just do what you gotta do.
I mean, to get it with this one, or do we just do the March
What
one no
happens
matter
if-
what, and, you know,
What happens if we let them do it this year? I
that's
mean,
what I'm wondering, you want to
That,
do that?
that
You
costs
pay
us what?
just $300.
It'd probably be cheaper to send you to the meeting. In
But,
Madison.
but a lot of the prep work actually Mary's already doing. She'll have the names for the ballots in already, she'll have, you know, a lot of the prep work will be done before I even take the class.
I think you'll be able to handle it. I think we ought to just make a motion to authorize Dawn to make the decision which workshop she wants to attend. Is that, you comfortable with that?
What do you think? I mean, if it were Madison, you want me driving back and forth,
Well,
or?
No,
find out, see if you can find out when they
When
think
the
the
March
March
one
one
is.
is. That would be kind of the key ingredient, wouldn't it, there, though?
Call my niece and see if we can stay at her house.
That's what, I'm like, I'm paranoid of Madison, so I don't know, I'm not a city driver.
I know what you're saying, I'd much rather drive to Oshkosh.
Yes.
Well, just keep us informed.
Okay. All right, I'll look into that. I think that's all I had then.
All right, under unfinished business, I want to talk to Jeremiah too about ordinance. We gotta change an ordinance and change a map or do something on our position of our beach buoys up there. So we'll get at that, and that'll probably be another ordinance change that we'll have to pay for. So anyway, I will get on that with him, talk about it. New business. We need to amend our sewer budget to reflect our payments of the paying off the sewer, paying off the clean water fund loan. All right, maybe, Dawn, why don't you explain exactly what you're doing here, and that would save me, you get it right.
All right, so 2014, because we actually did the payment, on the summary, the application of prior fund balances where the auditors told me to put that, that's basically the amount we paid off early, and it's coming from another fund, so that's why it would be put into that. And then raising the health and human services, that same amount, the 248,400. Just adjusting those two numbers.
So the total budget of income was amended from 300,600 to 549,000. Okay,
And then if you want to do it separately or together.
okay, and then, go ahead on the next one.
Okay, 2015 then, under the tax revenue, the amount was amended, bringing down the sewer rates to 15%. And, let's see, health and human services is brought down to 0, that's where the loan payment would have been. And excess from the not having that loan payment went into the lift station expenditures, which is actually capital outlay.
Make a motion that we approve the amended sewer utility budget, which was amended, is that the date, 12/26/15?
The effective, well, yeah, you do it as of today. Right?
I'll second.
It would be effective today, I suppose. All right, motion by Mr. Kohl, seconded by Mr. Falke to approve the sewer utility budget.
Summary budget.
Okay, question or discussion on that? Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Only question I had, of the first quarter, state transportation at 5466, is that worked into this year's budget for the streets, or is that just get put into the, general checkbook? How does that work?
It's into our income,
It's just part of what the money you get for the full year to spend for your projects. It'll be incorporated with wherever your budget amount was at 30,000 or 36 we put towards
Okay.
this year.
Okay, so that's why I'm asking, that number's incorporated with the budget number I have right now.
Correct.
We weren't gonna add 5,400 to this.
No,
boy, we could. No, it's already in. No, it's in.
You got that spent already.
Yeah.
All right,
I don't want to snowplow this year.
Oh, that's, yes. Thank God.
okay. Any communications that anyone has? Okay, also, Mr. Coenen, it probably won't work out very well for you, I can probably handle it, but, there's gonna be a meeting, put on by the county, highway department, talking about that, Act 377 or whatever it was that we approved. And they're gonna explain about the permitting process and stuff like that. They're gonna have a workshop, and there's gonna be one Thursday morning, so I plan on going to that.
Okay, yeah, I would be able to.
There was an evening session, I think last Thursday night, which I couldn't make, but, this, I can go Thursday morning, so I'll take care of that.
Okay, thank you.
All right, payment of bills.
Make a motion to pay the bills.
I'll second that.
Motion by Mr. Kohl, seconded by Mr. Van Lyssel to pay the bills as presented. Any discussion, question, comment? Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, if there's no more business to be brought before this board, I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Falke, seconded by Ms. Marks. Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.